The hypocrisy runs deep amongst the faithful. See, back when I was a Christian, we had this thing that we always used to talk about on how to properly study the Word. And it was, are you studying it exegesically or eisegesically? Exegesically would be taking what the words say, what the Bible had in front of you, reading it, interpreting it, and letting that interpretation form and mold your beliefs and how you were going to operate in life. Eisegesically would be taking a preconceived notion that I want to believe this way, and I'm going to go into the book and I'm going to make the book fit into my preconceived notions. And we would go around and we were trying to boast ourselves up in the church, especially one legalistic church I was in, that we were the best. We were the only ones that were properly studying the Word. We were going completely out of the Greek, and that was it. And we were going to let that form our opinions. But we were, in hindsight, as I see, we were so blinded by our own hypocrisy and our confirmation bias because we had so many preconceived beliefs. And it's tough not to do. We have preconceived beliefs on everything that we do, whether how we want to interpret LGBTQ, how we want to interpret immigration, how we want to view politics. Everything in our life, we have a preconceived idea because that's what we've built ourselves up to. The trick and the way to kind of grow and keep going is to try to shield yourself when you're learning something new and let that information come in and battle with the preconceived notion that you have in your head. But we never wanted to admit to that in the faith. We were saying we're taking everything completely out of the Word, and it was interpreting our beliefs and telling us what to do. We were so hypocritical in what we did because we had so many preconceived ideas, so many things that we wanted to be true and had to happen and had to be true, that we constantly read the Word and used our already believed notions to interpret what we want to say, to confirm what we want, because that's how we like to operate. It's safe, it's easy. Our minds want to go to that because it makes us feel accepted and it makes us feel part of a group when we're reading this and everyone else agrees. That's what we want because we have these preconceived notions what we want to do. And that is what the Christian faith is based upon. They have these thoughts, they have these ideas, they have these dogmas and doctrines that have to be true, whether it be if gay marriage should be allowed, whether it be, poor people shouldn't be living off the government, they have to pick themselves up by their bootstraps. Immigration, we have to get rid of all these people because it's not our job to take care of them. Things that were directly talked about by the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, according to them, on how to actually do this. Take care of the poor. Take care of the oppressed. Be merciful. Be empathetic. But now the Christian church wants to say empathy is the evil that's around in the world because empathy is a toxic trait people have. How ridiculous is that? It's because their preconceived notions, they know deep down. Their instincts and their conscience is telling them what we're doing is wrong, but we have to reason it to be right. So if we see this empathetic being that Christ was as what we need to live, but we're not living empathetically, we have to change what it really means. And that this is some sort of form of weakness, and that we have to allow all these ungodly deeds to be done in the world. When all they had to do is what he said to them. He didn't say, worship me. He said, follow me. Follow my ways. Follow what I do. But they don't want to follow. They'll worship all they want because they've made this God in their own image and created him so that it benefits them in the best possible way. Makes them feel safe, makes them feel comfortable, makes them feel at home. But they don't want to follow what he said. Because if they were really to read the Word, they'd see how hypocritical they're actually acting, how un-Christ-like they really are. So when we start to study and look into things, we have to realize that the Christian faith, especially the Christian national faith that is out in front of everything today, is extremely hypocritical because they have preconceived notions and ideas, and they're trying to justify them with their book. And that's a dangerous way to live because when they start doing that, they're going to make any of their deeds be God ordained. That this is a direct just a direct talking and speaking to by God of this is what you need to do. And you see what's happening today. You got a guy that's ready to act like he is and do what he wants to do in office, and they're supporting it completely because it fits into their notions and what they want. They, even though they may claim that they want to be exegesic in how they study everything, are some of the most eisegesic people I've ever met because they want everything to conform to their biases already. And they don't want to learn and be molded by anything. And that's a tough nut to crack. But if you can expose it and see what it is for real, you know what you're dealing with. You're dealing with ignorance, bigotry, and all sorts of great words to describe them. That can't be changed because they're taking it in and justifying it by their God. And it's a dangerous thing to have. We have to recognize the danger and what is going on, and then deal with it accordingly. Let them know that they're no Christians. They're not a follower of Christ. They're a follower of their own ideas. They created their God in their own image.